Today's video, we're going to focus on using the pool noodle to work on your head movement while slipping punches, ducking punches, or doing the weave that's in Peekaboo, which is your main line of defense. Now let's begin. This first drill is going to be focusing on using your side to side, your head movement, the slipping motion. Okay, so you're going to be slipping side to side. So what he's going to do with the noodles is he's going to come straight down with the noodle like he's aiming at the top of my head. What that allows me to do is slip to either side. It doesn't matter which side you slip to, okay? So when he comes down, he throws the right one down on my head, I can slip this way, or I can slip this way, or if he does the other one again, I can slip in. He does that one, I can slip in. Okay, you're just getting used to slipping, moving your head. Okay, making sure you keep your hands up when you do the slip. So this first drill, we're gonna move around. He's just gonna do one shot at a time. So he'll move around, hit me with one noodle at a time. But what I'm gonna do is I'm not just gonna do one head movement. I wanna get in the habit of moving my head at least twice, okay, in combination. So drill number one is gonna look like this. We'll move around, he hits me. And then you can move around, but just for the sake of the camera, we can't move too much, right? We're just gonna do it a little bit longer. He hits it. Now he's gonna speed him up faster. Okay, you get the point. So drill number one is one single strike with the noodle, but you're gonna move your head 2 times, okay? The second variation of this drill, okay, is he's gonna throw the circular action with the noodle, which forces me to do one of 2 things. Number one is if he swings that right one at my head, I can weave. Okay, and when I weave, I'm gonna do it twice. So if he throws that one, I weave under, weave back to my stance. He throws the left one, I weave, moving my head at least twice. Okay, the second action you could do is a duck. Now on the duck, I'm gonna add a slip or a weave after. So he throws the right one, I duck and then slip. He throws this one, I can duck and then weave. All right, so making sure I'm moving my head twice. So we're gonna move around now, and he's either gonna come with the hook to the head or the straight. So we're gonna put them together. Once you do the weave drill, we're gonna put them both together, okay? So now we're just gonna do a little example of it. He's either gonna come down with it or go around. Now you notice what I did there. All right, I didn't even think about it, did it unintentionally. When he came down with the noodle strike, the right noodle strike to my head, I weaved it, which is 100% good, okay? Just like if he throws a right hand at you, you can slip the right hand or you can bob and weave the right hand. You can duck it too, okay? The most important thing you want to do is be able to move your head. So 2 key points I want to focus when you're doing head movement in Peekaboo boxing. Number one is your hand position. All right, so if he comes down with that right strike, when I'm slipping, I'm keeping my hands on my face. Okay, they could be up high, they could be here, here, or here. It doesn't matter. All right, honestly, the harder my opponent's hits or faster, I have my hands a little bit higher protecting my head. Now, if I start sparring someone and I notice they may be fast, but they don't hit extremely hard, I might loosen my hands up a bit, okay? Remember the Peekaboo stance, you could be here, or you could go more like Tyson, where Tyson had his hands out a little bit. The benefit of having your hands out a little bit is you can insert those little catches and parries. Add that to your Peekaboo defensive game. All right, if you watch all this footage of Tyson sparring, sometimes his opponent will throw the jab and he'll parry it or catch it. He'll catch, slip, okay? Keep that in mind. It's almost impossible in a fight or sparring to only move your head. Sometimes the punches come too fast. Sometimes you got to block them with your forearms. Sometimes you got to use a parry. I call it the oh shit parry, where you're in a bad position and you can't move and that punch is coming and you just oh shit and parry it or catch it. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so the first drill, just a quick review, is he's going to come down, that downward angle, you're going to work your slipping. You're going to move in your head twice. Okay, the second one is you're going to add the weave. So he's going to throw the hooks. Okay, you're going to weave or duck, moving your head twice. Okay, the third variation is, I kind of skipped over it, but you're going to do either or. Okay, and then the last variation of this is he's going to throw those hooks to the body. So watch what happens. He throws a hook to my head, I weave. I get used to that. Now he comes back, next time maybe he throws a hook to my body. I go down and I weave into that body hook, which happens a lot in peekaboo. But that's why you got to keep your hands up. And I refer back to the point, the first point I made is having the hands up, because this is your secondary defense. Moving your head is your primary. Your second is your stance. Having your hands on your face and your elbows in tight. You don't want to be all loosey-goosey and getting caught with clean shots. Okay, so referring back to the first point, you want to move your head with your hands up. All right, anytime you move to your opponent, you want to keep your hands high. All right, the second point is, where do you look at on your opponent? All right, what I do is I focus on the chest area, but use my peripheral vision. All right, I'm not going to stare him in the eyes. I don't stare at one's shoulders. I focus on the chest, okay, and then use my peripheral vision. It's just like a good trick would be, if you see my finger right here, now focus your eyes right on my finger. You can only really see the finger. Now unfocus your eyes on my finger. Even though you're looking at my finger, you opens up your peripheral vision. All right. So the first point is, keep your damn hands up when you're bobbing and weaving and slipping. The second point is, you need to keep your eyes on your opponent's chest. All right. The third point is you got to keep your head up. All right. You're not bobbing and weaving with your head down. The minute you take your eyes off your opponent and bob and weave your head down, a couple bad things are happening. You know, in a fight, especially an amateur fight, USA boxing, if you're bending over at the waist with your head down, they're going to stop it and tell you to keep your head up. And if you do it enough, they're going to end the fight, disqualify it. All right. Second thing is, if you're bobbing and weaving at your waist with your head down, you're exposed to catching those shots. Okay, catching those shots on the back of the head. All right. So if you want to get knocked out really fast, get hit in the back of the head. All right. It's one of the fastest ways to get knocked out. Okay, so that is the first basic pool noodle drills you can use for head movement development in peekaboo boxing. These next series of drills are going to add forward movement to your head movement drills against the pool noodles. We're going to start with that side to side motion, the slipping action or pendulum type motion that's peekaboo's known for. Okay. Now, when it comes to footwork, it's a kind of rule of thumb is, when I slip to the left, I step with the left. When I slip to the right, I step forward with the right foot. Okay, so it'll look like this. I'm kind of moving fast. And that's doing it slow. You can do it really fast. You want to keep your steps really short and small to be able to move quickly. Okay, so this first one is, just because, again, because of the sake of the camera, I would do it for a longer, like across the gym floor, but he's going to come forward. I'm going to scoot back as far as I can, and I would still be on video. Okay, what I'm going to do is, he's going to take that new one, he's going to come straight down with it, like this. Okay, and then he's going to be moving backwards with it, and I'm going to follow him using my forward momentum, my forward footwork going side to side. So it's going to look like this. As he comes in, you see we're going relatively slow. Once again, do it again. Now you can speed it up a little bit. Okay? So you can see you're just moving side to side, getting used to moving forward. Why is this drill important? This drill is important is because so you can get inside your opponent's punches to get close enough to fire your counter punches, okay, or your fast inside combinations. A lot of times this is used for the shorter man to spar or fight the taller man. You got to get closer. So I'm going to work my way in off his punches with my head movement. Okay. Also, you can do this offensively. Like if he just gets in his stance, so just get in the stance. Even if he doesn't punch, I can still move into him with my head movement, trying to draw a punch from him, and then I can throw my counter shots. Okay, so this is the first drill, I call it line drills. First line drill, going backwards, using my side to side, my slips. Okay, the second one is to help develop your bobbing and weaving while moving forward. Same thing applies. If I move my head to the left-hand side, okay, I step with my left. If I move it back to my right-hand side, I step with my right. So I'm moving forward in that U-shaped motion. Okay, so to start out first, he's just gonna put this on my shoulder. All right, he's gonna put it right here to give me a reference point to go under. And then now, once I go in, he's gonna take steps back. So let's go ahead and scoot back a little bit so I can still be on camera. All right, so I'm gonna move in, he's gonna move back. As you can see, and if I get to the end, that's where I can twist, fire my shot, or spring to the side. Okay, so one more time, we're gonna show it with it on the shoulder. I'm moving forward, and he's moving back. Okay, moving my head, okay? The next variation of this drill is he's just gonna swing left and right, back and forth with the noodles, and I'm gonna go under him, okay? While stepping forward, while he's going backwards, okay? So now he's gonna move up a little bit, right there. He's gonna start swinging. Very simple drill, all right? But it teaches you to stay tight, keep your motion small, fast and explosive, moving towards your opponent, all right? Now let's move on to the last section. Now in this section, we're gonna start adding in the most important part of the head movement, and that's counterpunching. Okay, you can move your head all day, not get hit, but sooner or later you gotta get your counterpunches. You gotta score your shots, okay? So, this first drill, I don't have gloves on, you can do it, it's almost like an enhanced sparring, shadow boxing drill. All right, you're drilling. So what he's gonna do is, he's gonna focus on just either hitting me with the noodles coming straight down. You can take this in stages. So the first one, we're gonna work on the slips. Okay, slip. So I'm gonna slip once and fire a punch. Okay, so if he throws that right one at me, if I slip to my left, what options do I have? Obviously, based on the distance between me and my opponent is what punch I'm gonna choose to throw. Now, if I'm farther out like I am right now, he does it again, slip, and I can throw that 7 to the head. Okay, now, if I'm a little closer or use some advancing footwork or explode in, all right, he does it again, I can slip, I can throw the number 1, the left hook to the head. He does it again, I can throw, all right, the 3, the left uppercut. And if I'm a little closer, he does it again. Here, I can throw the 5 to the liver, okay? Same thing on this side. He comes down here, I slip, I can throw the 2 if I'm a farther out. Now, if I slip and I'm a little closer, I can make that 2 a right hook to the jaw, okay? He does it again, I can slip, throw the 4, the uppercut. He does it again, slip, and this is another thing. If I'm farther out, I can step in, throw the 6, which is a straight to the spleen, or he does it again. If I'm closer, I can throw that 6 as a hook to the body. So you can see we're gonna kind of free flow a little bit. He's just gonna throw one left or right at me. I'm just gonna take it slow at first, all right? And I'm gonna counter punch out of it. You can see, if I slip to the left, I fire with the left. If I slip to the right, I fire with the right because that punch is loaded. This head movement, which is defensive, is also offensive because it's a loading position for leverage. And when I'm here, my right hand is going to be harder if I just fire it from here. Because I'm loaded, I got the legs bent, and I can explode into that counter punch. So that's the first variation. I'm gonna, boom. Now if he adds the hooks, okay, let's say he throws the hook. Okay, I can weave, hook. He throws it again, I can weave 7. He does it again, I can weave 5 or 3. Same thing this side. I can weave 2. Does it again, weave 2 with the hook. Weave 4. Does it one more time, boom, and then go body here, body here. Okay, so once you get that down off the hooks, you want to blend them together. So he's going to do one, a hook or a straight, either arm. I'm here. You can see which side I slip on is the side I fire. Okay? Then you can add in those body hooks with the noodles. So, like I showed before, if he throws a body hook at me here and I think it's a head hook and I go down into that duck position, my hands are here, but I can fire out of it. I'm going to fire out of it. He hits me in the body, I'm going to fire right away. Okay? So, once you get 1 count counter punch, you progress to 2 count because you want to start punching in combination, punches and bunches right away, so that he hits me with whatever. That was 3, but just for the sake of the drill. Okay, so then, like I just did 3, you move on to 3 count. He hits me with 1. You can see I can start putting my combinations together. Obviously, for a lot of these punches to work, I gotta be closer. But it's just a drill, right? You're getting in the habit, you're training your nervous system, everything, your reflexes to, when you move, you fire. Now, that's the important part. A lot of people move their head, but they don't counterpunch. Okay? So, that is it for the pool noodles. You can offer these drills, you can come up with your own variations of it. Okay? But this is highly important. So if you're working with a partner, I suggest always starting after your warm-up with the pool noodle drills. Okay? If you don't have pool noodles, you can do a boxing gloves. You throw 1 shot, I slip, bop. He throws a hook. So go ahead and throw the noodles down real quick. All right? He throws a jab or a cross, slip, pop, pop. Throws a hook. I can weave, pop, pop, pop. Just shadow boxing. All right? Drilling, getting in a habit. So it becomes natural and you can fire these counter punches without even thinking. Have a good day.